Is this thing on? Okay, good. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Fatimah Faith, aka Always Dreaming, back with more conversations with the Critic. You know the drill. Let's break it down, call it out, and dig a little deeper. So grab your tea and let's get into it. What's up, y'all? Happy Venus Day. Happy Friday. What is today? I don't know. What is time, right? I don't know. Maybe the January 21st, 22nd. It's 2:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm watching one of my favorite podcasts, the Jason Lee podcast. He's a Leo. Pay attention. Pay attention, y'all, okay? He's a Leo. He's a Leo sun. I can't remember his placements off the top of my head, but he's got a fire chart, okay? So just pay attention. You want to President Trump is a Leo rising. Okay. Anyway, so I'm watching Jason Lee and they're having this conversation. And this isn't the first time they've had this conversation, but it's extended about LAT living, a LAT lifestyle, living apart but together, living apart but together.
Can we live apart together? I love this topic. I think if I'm with somebody who's with me for the most part, but also goes away, but either way, can marriages or even non-marital relationships last longer when partners live separately? According to some social scientists, they say that more couples are staying together but living in separate homes for some good reasons. But I think that kind of keeps the love alive.
So I have been saying ever since I got divorced, I separated in 2018. I got divorced in 2019. I've been divorced for 5 years? We were together for 11 years. We got married in 2008. Astrologically, I'm telling y'all, it's in the stars. You know what I mean? So, I lived with someone intimately for 11 years. I'm not built for that anymore, okay? I like my alone time because I get lost in other people's energy. So I need my space and you have your space, okay? And, you know, just a lot of red flags come when you move too fast. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I will never live with my significant other, but it will be a long while. I'm talking about it will be a whole different lifestyle for me to want to live with a man. Yeah. I don't really want to live with anybody other than my children. And single parents, if you know, you know. Sometimes you don't even want them living with you, you know? But yeah, I can't do it. I just can't. Constantly taking in someone else's energy and learning someone, and then I know what kind of energy I have, and it's not in a egotistical way or anything like that, but you know what they say, you're gonna like it here. You're gonna like it here. When I let you into this space, you're gonna like it here. And then I feel bad because I have a lot of Libra placements. I can be a people pleaser. The other side of Libra can sometimes be, you know, people pleasing, because Libra wants harmony. It's ruled by Venus. Today is Venus Day. Fridays are ruled by the planet Venus. So it's no surprise that I'm talking about relationships. Libra is the sign of relationships, partnerships. So yeah, I need my space. And I've never in my life, so that's why I say it might not be forever, you know, but I have never felt at peace in someone else's, completely myself in someone else's energy. And that's physically exhausting. To never, and that's not against anybody. I've just been through a lot of shit, you know. I've been through a lot of shit. So I've just never felt that comfortable with anybody to want to be in their space and in their energy constantly, you know, because even when you're not together, you're going to be on the phone sometimes, or texting each other, or thinking about each other. And I realized, as much as I was a lover girl, or am a lover girl, it's boundaries for me. Like, I have to have really strong boundaries for all the pieces of me, okay? For all my inner childs, all my inner children, you know, I have to give them their space first. Then I have to do, you know, my children and all the other aspects of myself, you know. It's interesting. I'm just coming to this now. At this stage of my healing, my inner children are the only ones that I have to hold in that very certain kind of way. Like, I can't neglect any of them. But the version of myself from marriage, it's almost like healed and released. I still remember, I hold that portion of me. It's almost like the children don't really get to mature and grow. That was why I even hit the button. I never know. When I'm guided to hit the button, we don't know where it'll go. Intuitive currents. You know what I'm saying? It's just intuitive currents. We are letting it flow. Okay? I hit the button thinking about the word mature, and that's no shade on anyone. Society hasn't been built yet to mature people behaviorally, emotionally, energetically, and that's why you hear people saying it's a lot of it's part of the great divide, you know, is we're not even like able to intellectually meet each other. We're not able to, you know, meet each other. I don't know, it keeps going back to our mindset, our mind, you know, our minds are not nurtured in a way in this society, in this old society, because it's over now. We win in the end. We prevail in the end. Because if we haven't mentally got there, it's hard to be emotionally there. You know, emotions take introspection. You have to be able to introspect. And you can't introspect if you can't intellect. You can't introspect if you can't intellect. Because your feelings end up having control over every portion of your life, your behaviors, your everything. But we win in the end, you know? I never know where it's going to go. So there, intuitive currents. But yeah, I'm curious what y'all think about living apart. You know what I mean? Like, I just think we move too fast a lot in today's society. I know we move too fast. We move, and not just in relationships, just period. So it's gonna trickle over into relationships. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Who knows? But it makes you wonder how many people could see themselves, because you can just easily lose yourself in another person, you know. And at the end of the day, you always need to know who you are. You always need to know what your goals are, what's motivating you, what your thought processes are, right? We got to take care of ourselves first. We have to put on our oxygen mask first. And what is the first rule in crisis management? It's to do your best to stay calm, because when you are not calm, your brain cannot intellect. You can't think through the situation, because the emotions, the fear is driving you, the anxiety is driving you, the shame is driving you, or whatever it is. It's so intense that that's all you're focused on, and you just want to put the fire out. You want to make it better, regardless if it's the and that's how we end up in cycles. But anyway, I need to go into the post office. I did not expect it to go this way, but once again, nobody knows where it's gonna go. It's called Intuitive Currents for a reason. All right, anyway, I'm your girl Fatimah Faith, aka Always Dreaming. And until the next time, peace, love, and keep dreaming. And we're back. So I just grabbed the stuff out of my mailbox, and when I'm outside, when I'm in the Chariot, Cancer card, Cancer rising, when I'm in the Chariot. But anyway, I get out the post office, and most people don't know this. So I'm disabled, and I go check the mailbox, right? Because whatever they say, like, they call Social Security and disability a fixed income. It is not a fixed income. And you can have a lawyer file your paperwork, do all the things. You can have Social Security, and it is not a fixed income, like they say. You can get a lawyer. You can let them work it out, get awarded, and then a year later, they tell you, hey, we overpaid you. And then you're stuck. And now you're getting way less than what you were getting. Okay? And it changes all the time. This month it'll be one thing. Next month it'll be another thing. The anxiety every time I go to check the mailbox and I see something from Social Security is so exhausting, you know, because you're messing with people's life, you know what I mean? There are people that need this money because they are not able to work under your system how you say I'm supposed to work. And that shit is fucked up, you know? And I manage and I make do, but it's not right, you know? And there's nothing I can do about it because my lawyer's gone. So they got their money, but I gotta pay back the money that you negotiated with the administration. I had nothing to do with nothing. And all they could say is they calculated the date wrong. But the thing is I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in like 2009. But I still pushed through and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. And now I can't work anymore. You know? But they don't go back. They literally look at like basically when you stop working. And I don't understand all the ins and outs of the law because it's just exhausting and I just don't have the energy to do that. And that's the sad part about a lot of these different systems is that they will just run you down, run you down, run you down. Never forget your why. Never forget your why. Because that's what really speaks on your soul, you know? is your why. But they will run you down until you are in the ground, and they will replace you just as quickly. We have lost the soul. We have lost our souls. And it doesn't matter which way gets you to your soul. Whatever speaks to you. It doesn't matter how you get the message, as long as you get the message. When I got awarded my Social Security, I bet on me. I used that money to invest back into the business that I use to help people, to really try to help people. I haven't even been able to, I have not watched the news since I retired back in 2020. Working at the health department as a health inspector during a global health crisis, having an emergency management background, having graduated from FEMA, from the Emergency Management Institute. I went out there and I went and got it. I didn't know why God was leading me the way I was being led, and now it all makes sense. And I'm thankful. I stopped watching the news because it's fear porn. We cannot work from a vibration of fear. When you are in that fight or flight, if you cannot remain calm in a crisis, what do y'all see? Crisis everywhere you turn. If we can't remain calm, we can't think clearly. We can't strategize. Led by fear. Motivated by ego. Unhealthy ego. Unhealthy ego. There is a healthy ego. We all have an ego. That's part of this human experience, is to be able to experience an ego. And learning how to use it to your advantage. How to build your confidence and your vision. The vision only you can see. But also remembering that we are all one. We are all just a reflection of each other, whether it's now, a previous version, a past life version, a future version, whatever it may be. We are all here on Earth School learning from each other. Ooh. Ooh. They gonna be mad. They gonna be mad. They gonna be mad. They gonna be mad. You gotta have a little bit of ego. You gotta have a little bit of that, feeling that heart beating in your chest. Rise up, goddess. What is that song? Rise up, rise up. Always check your intentions. Always check your intentions. While I was out having a good time, I was having a good time, yes. But I understand the culture. I understand society. I've been watching all this unfold for years, okay? I started Always Dreaming Instagram page back in 2013. And it was the first name that I really used on Instagram. So pretty much since 2013, it's been Always Dreaming. When George Floyd and really it all started with Trayvon Martin for me. But then when, what was his name? Mike Brown. When that happened, I was at FEMA. And this is my first experience of coming outside of my community and the culture, and being planted in rural environments, but also meeting people, other people that do the same work around the whole country. Some even came from overseas to come to the FEMA Institute. And it was at the height of Mike Brown, and I remember just like hearing the conversations, and these are law enforcement, first responders, you know, hearing their philosophies and their beliefs, and it was just kind of wild to me. Like, wow, you know, it just showed me how different people can think from all over the country, just this country, you know, because you think you know until you actually are engaged with different people, you know. And I came back, graduated, came back to my community, and I was like gung-ho, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take these principles and I'm gonna make it into my nonprofit, you know what I mean, to bring together communities, you know. Wow, what a life, what a life, what a life. And I was so, come on guys, let's do it, you know. But then I had to go through the next phase, which was learning how to sharpen my discernment with people, and who could even have the capacity to understand what it was I was trying to build. But then after a while, it just got to the point where I was tired of talking to people, especially seeing what was going on in our country. You know, I've always been big into politics, just all the things. And so I withdrew and went through a plan. And in that time, y'all saw me come back out. I used the money that I was awarded for my years of service as a law enforcement officer, as a government worker, you know, that I had earned, being able to invest in my dreams and what I want to build, but also being of service at the same time. But of course, in the society we live in, people want to see me, they want to see this personality. I got all that, but that's really not what I be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really what I be doing. And my work is so confidential and so sacred. I can't really show a lot of that work that I'm doing. And it's a distract. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do the work and be talking all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm of more service, I feel, especially when I haven't had any partners or anything. I've been doing it all dolo on my own. I don't have time to be like talking about it, and it just be feeling like I'm feeding the not good part of my ego of like, hey, I just want everybody to know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter to me. So I figured I'd be a personality in front of everybody else. Like, I'd show my personality. But after a while, you know, life is all about balance, and you know, I'm learning it as well. You know, as I go along in my journey, the more experiences I have, the more I can master what's going on here. The more I can better master alchemy and balance. I'm getting better at balancing it. So yeah, and I am disabled, so I also have to take good care of myself, because I can't run like that. You know, I can't constantly be on the move like that. So yeah, that's where I've been, guys. I don't know, I'm getting closer to my location, and that's it. That's all I was told to say. The channel, the flow is gone. So anyway, peace, love, keep dreaming. It's really weird. I just had this thought, like, how it goes against, like, what do they call it? Like, it's like a crime against God to force people into lives they don't want to live. Like, imagine God putting a purpose on every soul's life, but yet we have to have some type of control and some other power other than God forcing us into systems and a way of life that we don't want to actually live, and it's not even natural for us to live. And what made me thinking about this was, imagine God gave you the gift of being a psychologist, understanding how the mind works, and gave this to you as a gift. But because of the life and the system that we're a part of, it requires me to go to school, get this piece of paper, that piece of paper. Now, am I saying anything's wrong with schooling? No, not at all. But what I'm saying is, for me personally, I've always been fascinated by psychology. I've taken so many psychology classes, sociology classes, understanding different environments and cultures and things like that, but not a part of a program to get the end culmination. But I might not have the attention span to go through like all this rigorous labor, but that doesn't lessen my gift, one. And two, sometimes I've been seeing this term micro learning, and this is what I've been doing my whole life. When you have an interest in something, or you already kind of have a concept of something, you go and you search it, you learn as much as you need to learn about it, just for it to expand the knowledge, the God-given knowledge and talent that you are already given. So how against God is it to make a whole society of people have to follow certain systems when they were given a talent, or they were given a gift by God that was never nurtured? Now, I feel like you should nurture your gifts, and whether that be with experience, education, whatever, yes. But we force people into the same cyclical system. I only got some psychology classes because that's all that was offered. But if it was set up for me to hyper focus on one thing instead of wasting my time learning about things that I've never used since, then I might be further along in society's eyes of where they think I need to be. I don't know. It's just really weird to me. It's an expanding thought, but that was my initial thought, is how against God, and is it a crime of humanity to force people to live lives that was not placed on their soul, that they don't even want to live? Forcing people to go get a job, just go apply for jobs, because if I didn't go through the schooling system and all these levels that you want me to go through to do the thing that I really want to do, so I am now forced to work at the car dealership when I have no real interest in that, no real gift in that, just to make a paycheck, which pays the person that owns the car dealership, and I'm not even feeling my God-given purpose through working here, just to barely be able to survive when I'm being distracted from what God sent me here to do. Like, that sounds like a crime to me. I don't know. If you enjoyed this installment of Conversations with the Critic, do me a favor, like this video, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to connect with you across all platforms and pages, and the best way to explore all the pieces of me is to dive into my dream world at www.fatimah.faith. Interested in an astrology or card reading? Visit www.fatimah.faith/always dreaming. That's ALWAZE dreaming to explore my current offerings. Stay tuned for more exciting services on the horizon. If you're in need of a community crisis consultant, email me at fatimah@fatimah.faith. Thank you for your time, for allowing me to share my voice and perspective with you. And until the next time, namaste. The divine in me sees the divine in you. Don't forget to breathe, mind your mental, and nurture your soul's unique journey. Peace, love, keep dreaming.